Are your answers making the grade? Hey, Don Georgievich here. I hope you've been thinking about what you learned in the past videos about behavioral and identity questions. Over the years, I've collected questions from clients who all said their answer to this one question made all the difference in their interview, and they were offered the job based on their answer to this one question. Now, this question comes in many forms, and well, it wasn't the same for everyone. They all had different questions. But you see, I have a list. I've gathered up a list of all these questions, and I want to share them with you. They're all identity questions dealing with uniqueness and individuality. I've taken the list and I've refined it over and over and over so that it's down to just the core questions that make all the difference and carry the most weight in the interview. Now, you still need to be able to answer the common stuff, like, what are your weaknesses or your greatest accomplishments? And, and behavioral questions too. But these core identity questions carry all the weight, just like essay questions on a test. Now, these are questions that employers base their hiring decision on. You get these right and you're practically in. And the job's in the bag. Employers really don't care if you screw up the weakness question because those are just one-point questions. But when you nail the identity question, now they're interested. Now you have their attention. All you have to do is nail a few more of those and you're practically home free. And I've heard it over and over from my clients that their answer to this one single question sealed the deal and they were offered the job the next day. Sometimes even in the same day, because employers realize value in high-quality candidates and they don't want to risk losing them to someone else. Now, I've been coaching job seekers for several years now, and the most important things we focus on is how to answer identity questions and behavioral questions. And these are the two most difficult types of questions for job seekers to learn by themselves. And with many of my clients, the bulk of the coaching program is spent on strategies for answering these questions. The problem is, my interview coaching programs are very expensive and they cost several thousands of dollars. And most people, they just don't have that kind of cash to invest in their job search. And some job seekers are down to their last $100. So what I've done is I've pulled out the most important piece from my most expensive coaching program and I've made it available to everyone at a price that anyone can afford. The one thing that has offered my students the most benefit in their job interviews, the one thing that has had the biggest impact, the one thing that has made all the difference in their interviews was their ability to effectively answer identity questions. And in many cases, it was the main reason they were offered the job. And now you can get the most important piece from my most expensive coaching program without having to enroll. I can give you examples of how to answer questions like this all day long. But it does you no good if you can't tie it into your past experience, the job description, and the corporate vision for the position. There's just too many variables. So now for the most important question. Is this program right for you? This program may be right for you, and it may not. And by now, you probably started to get a sense of whether this program can help you with your answers. If it's right for you, that's great. If not, that's okay too. You see, this program is not designed to teach you how to answer questions, but to validate your answers and to try them out on me first, so I can tell you the image your answer is projecting. So I can tell you if your answering method is solid, and if your answers will satisfy the toughest interviewers. I've had people go through the program who didn't know how to answer interview questions in the first place, and they didn't realize the full value of the program. They ended up creating a lot more work for themselves, wasting their time and my time. So if you're just starting out and you've never interviewed before, get the complete interview answer guide first. There should be a link to it on this page. It's really the best tool out there for this kind of stuff, and it's pretty cheap right now. And you can read through it in about an hour or two and practice answering some of the questions in there. And once you do that, then you'll be ready for the Interview Answer Accelerator program. All right, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it anyways. You really don't even need this program. All you really need to do is practice the answering techniques in the Complete Interview Answer Guide. And you'll be set. That's how a lot of my customers do it. Using the guide might take you a little bit longer to reach the level of proficiency that you're going to need in your interviews. But if you have the time, you probably don't need this. And that's really the only reason I have this extra program. Some people just need to improve their answering ability overnight instead of over a week or two. Like I said, this program is not for beginners. It's not meant to take you from 0 to 60 miles an hour overnight. It's meant to take you from 20 miles an hour to 120 miles an hour really fast. It's not designed to teach you how to answer interview questions, but to validate your answers and, more importantly, your answering technique. And once you know that you're doing it right and you have your technique down, you can apply that to all of your answers and get great results from your interviews. But if your answering method is off base from the beginning and you apply that to all of your answers, then all of your answers will be wrong. And, well, that won't be a good thing either. So, there are 3 ways that you can get started with the Interview Answer Accelerator. But first, I have to tell you this. This offer is limited to the first 25 people who register, and then I'm going to close it down and you won't be able to get in. You see, this program requires so much of my time, and it's me personally that's grading your answers, and I can only handle about 25 students. Any more than that and the user experience suffers, and I'm all about providing the best possible experience to you in the shortest amount of time. So here's how the program works. You can enroll at the basic level, and I'll personally review and grade your answers for up to 7 questions. Now, these can be any 7 questions from the list that I showed you in the previous videos, and I'll show you what you're doing wrong in your answers and how you can improve them so that you know that your answers are solid for your interview. So you know that your answers are projecting the right image of you to employers. And you can even change the wording on the questions to make them more suitable to you or your background. Even substitute your own questions, though I would highly encourage you to pick from the list, but it really doesn't matter either way. I will personally review up to 7 of your answers at the basic level. But if 7 questions aren't enough for you and you want me to grade you on more, then you can step up to the next level and I'll review 14 of your answers. Now, if you're thinking, Don, you really don't know me, I need way more help than that, and 14 questions just won't do, then I have the highest level where I'll review up to 21 of your answers. And when you're at the 14 and 21 levels, you don't have to give me all of your questions at once. You can spread them out in blocks of 7. Now, I don't want you to confuse the basic level with being the least you should do. The basic level is all you really need. If you came in at the basic level and had me review 7 of your answers to the most popular identity questions, you'd be set for your next interview, and I don't think you'd need anything more than that. But you know yourself a lot better than I do. Now, as for a guarantee, everyone always loves a guarantee. Well, since the program is not a physical product but a review of your work, offering you a refund on the way you write your answers is really asking a lot of me. So I'm not offering refunds or partial refunds on my critique of your answers or any unused answers. But if you're unsatisfied with the program for any reason, just let me know and I'll work it out with you. I just have to say this stuff even though no one has ever even asked for a refund on this program before. So that's it. After you register, you'll receive an email from me with instructions for how to start the program. I'll give you a complete list of questions to choose from, or You can make up your own or modify the ones I've provided. Then what you want to do is pick out your questions and write down how you think you would answer these questions. And then you send me your answers using a special email address that I'm going to give you. So your answers will come straight to me. Now, I'll review them. I'll let you know what you did wrong, the image that your answers are projecting, and what you can do to improve your answers to make them be the best possible answer so you have the perfect interview experience and look like the only logical choice for the job. As for turnaround time, since I'm only accepting 25 students in the program, I'm estimating your turnaround time will be about 2 to 3 days on your graded answers, sometimes even less. But the sooner you register and the sooner I receive your answers, the faster I can get them graded for you. Now, there is no time limit on how soon you need to send me your answers. Just as long as you order the program before registration closes, you'll be fine. So if you wanted to order the program today and then send me your answers next week or even next month, that would be okay too. Now, I'm a big fan of overdoing everything, so I'm running an early bird special for you. If you are one of the first 8 people to register, I'm throwing in some extra questions that I'll review for you. You can see the details on the checkout page. Well, that's it. I've had a great time making this video series for you. I hope you found it to be beneficial in your job search, and I'm looking forward to reviewing your answers so you can be sure that you're saying all the right stuff in your interviews. I'll talk to you soon.
John, James Norton, where do I start? Absolutely the best program, and I did shop around and looked at a lot of different opportunities. Many would have required a lot more financial investment, but I feel absolutely blessed that I stumbled upon your site and had the good fortune of ordering your program because it changed everything. I had a session of interviews for a regional sales position, and I ended up getting that and offer on its way. And your help in the program, but additionally answering emails and for specifics in approach to a lot of these different individuals, and I ended up interviewing uphill quite a bit to executive level, was invaluable. And just having you in my corner, I can't say that value, but very high, and I appreciate that so much. That's about it. I would recommend this program to anybody who wants to address their ability, not just in interviewing, but understanding that these techniques are absolutely valuable for any relationship, I would say. Bringing yourself forward, being prepared. What Don's program does is prepare you for what is coming at you, and his knowledge of the interview process gives you insights that release the tension around this type of a question process, and gives you insights into what the interviewer is looking for. And highly recommended. Pick it up. For me, the value was 10, 100 times that.